Okay, so we're going to make the windows for the bottom part of the rest of this gatehouse here, but just kind of duplicate them across. So we'll duplicate this first two, show you duplicate, and then we'll do an array over here for the other lot, and we'll show you how the array works. So both of these are selected. Let's do it again. I've just pressed A to deselect everything, right mouse click, and then shift, right mouse click, and then I want to press shift and D, and that means we've got this thing that we can move around everywhere. If you press X, it will constrain it along the X axis, and then we can just kind of move it into position, and then press the left mouse button, and just make sure it's nice and snug. And there we go. That's nice and easy for that one. And we'll do the same again for the other side. So we'll press Shift and D. Okay, press X. Move it along, put it into position, and then see what we've got. Okay, so that looks like quite a small little gap there. I'm going to press 1, and then I'm going to press 5. So on front ortho up at the top here. If you're not on ortho and you're on perspective, you need to press 5 again. So 5 toggles. And then I'm going to just zoom in to here, and then I'm going to press Z. Now that's quite a big difference there. In fact, we've got some space issues across here. We're going to have to deal with these in just a little minute. So the first thing that I think we'll probably do is just have a look at the array modifier just to show you what it is. So I'm going to press Control up to get my side panel up here. Yours might already be here. If that's the case, that's okay. And then I'm going to find along the top tab here, top row, we're going to hit the modifier set, which is the spanner. This is where we did the mirroring earlier on. And then we're going to choose out of the list array. Okay, so the first thing that's worth noting is that the array modifier doesn't do anything with multiple selected objects. Okay, that's one thing worth remembering. But while we're here, we can just have a quick peek and see what it does. So we've got count here, so if I turn the count up, you can see what it does. It creates more of them. And if I turn the offset up, you can see it spaces them out equally. Okay, so that's the array modifier. It's a fancy way of creating duplicates, I guess. So I'm just going to get rid of that by pressing that cross, and then I'm going to press A, and then I'm going to select the bottom frame, the bigger frame out of the two here. So then I'm going to add an array modifier to that. So modifier array, and we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the offset, I'm going to click on here and just press the left mouse button, and then I'm going to press the shift key and then click on here, and the shift key means it moves in smaller increments rather than without the shift key it goes really quick. So the shift key moves in smaller increments, and we can see if I press the Z key here, we can see that we do really have an issue with how this is going to work. So that's got everything to do with the building. It's not anything to do with the windows. So I think what we'll do is figure out what space needs to be in between all of these gaps. I think that's how we'll do it. So okay, so let's right click on the main building, the main gatehouse, and then go into edit mode. So we'll press the tab key, And then I want to go into edge mode, so Control Tab into edge mode. And then we need to press N on the keyboard, so we've got our transform menu up. And then what I want to do is get a note of the edge lengths. Okay, so find numerics and then go down to edge length. And then I'm going to just sort of spin around a little bit here and zoom in. And then find out, and it might be easier with Z. Yeah, so press Z to do solid mode. Find out how long this is. So that's 0.242. So remember 242. Okay, so that's 242. I'm going to right click that one. That's 284, 284, 284, 242. So we've got two 242s and three 284s. Okay, which is kind of inconsistent. So we're going to need to figure out how we're going to fix that. So I'm going to go into my calculator, which you might have one on your phone maybe, or if you're on a Mac, you've got dashboard here. Okay, so I've just nipped into dashboard. So we want 242 twice is 484. Okay, so remember 484. And the other measurement was 284 times 3 equals 852. So these three areas here equal 852 units, or however we're going to do it, centimetres, maybe not, it's a bit wide for centimetres. So we need to add on our, so I'm going to add on the two 242s from this side, so plus, no, not that, plus 484, wasn't it, because it was 242 twice. Okay, my calculator's just forgotten everything. It doesn't have a cancel entry, which is a shame. So let's try that one again. 284 times 3 equals that, plus 484 equals 1336. So altogether, this is 1336. The gaps in between make up a total length of 1336. All of these gaps all together. And what we want them to do is all be completely equal. So we're going to have to divide this by 5 because there's 5 spaces. So divided by 5 equals 267.2. So 267 is what we need each one of these to be. So I'm going to do that by pressing 1 again. Okay. And then I'm going to go into face mode. So Control Tab into face mode. And then I'm going to press B. And then just drag select. Oh, in fact, I'm not going to do this in solid mode. Let's hold on just a sec. Let's press Z on the keyboard to make sure we're in wireframe mode. And then we're going to press B. And then drag select around this face, these selection of faces here. And we can't actually see, at the moment, we can't actually see the number up here, but I think when I start to move it, if I pull the little manipulator here, you can see the number flicking around at the top. So that needs to be 267, right? So then we press A to deselect, B to select, and we do the same again. So 267. Okay, A to deselect, B to select, 267, and then A to deselect, B to select, and 267, and that leaves 270 on the other side, which is a little bit bigger, but nothing to really worry about too much. Unless we made that one 26. So make that one 268, and that one works. That works fine. Okay, so I'm going to tab key out of edit mode and then see what we've got. Press Z and we can see we've got gaps here. So let's move first of all this one into position. So I think this one looks okay. Just press Z, we can see how it's sitting. Kind of looks okay. And then we can see the effects of the rest of the array here. Now it kind of starts to overlap a bit, so we might have to go back over into the array section, hold the shift key down and then left click here down to, well, I've got 1440 for this one. Okay, and what that's done is put them all into place quite nicely. Okay, now we need to do the same for the small window at the top, so I'm going to add an array modifier and I'm going to do 5, so I'm going to type 5 in there, and I'm going to do the same offset, so minus 1440 was the offset. No, was it? Oh, it's, sorry, it was minus 1.4. Minus 1.440. Okay, we can see these are overlapping in a little bit because they just need to be pushed along to match up with the window. And there we have, if you press Alt, and there we have our array of windows all sitting neatly. Press A to deselect, and they're all sitting nicely in the bottom row now. Okay, so that's our window frames put in. We still have to put the glass in, but we won't put the glass in yet. I think what I'd be more interested in doing is getting these windows at the top here done, and then we can start adding glass in afterwards. Alright, so that's our bottom window frames done.